Shabbat Shalom from Temple Concord. This week I'm speaking to you from the babysitting room. Not because our Torah portion deals with babies, but because our Torah portion deals with siblings in a fascinating way. My children have spent a lot of time in the babysitting room, and I know many of your children have as well. And I've always been fascinated by the idea of siblings. Part of it is that I'm the youngest of four, and I've always been fascinated by how our birth order plays into how we function in life. And there are many who have looked at me and said, you are an absolute textbook example of a fourth child, and some who said, really, you're a fourth child? I can't believe it. Be that as it may, I've always been fascinated by how siblings get along or don't get along. The Torah portion this week is Joseph is in the land of Egypt. He has risen and become a leader. His brothers come down looking for food. Joseph recognizes them, they don't recognize him, and he has a decision to make. Does he tempt them? Does he taunt them? Does he treat them kindly? Does he torment them? What's he do? At first, he toys with them a little bit and tests them. And then finally, he clears all the aides out, and he looks at them and says, it's me, Joseph, your brother. Od Avichai, does our father still live? Is dad still alive? The humanity of that moment has always jumped at me. And I always think of my own siblings. So often when I speak to my mom or dad back in Nebraska, I ask how Susie or Debbie or Johnny is doing, and our parents become sort of the clearinghouse for how we interact with each other. Not that we don't all speak with each other, but often our parents are the ones who are filling in all the details. And so it's only natural that Joseph would ask about Dad to see what's going on, because inevitably Joseph would have asked his dad, how's everybody else doing? And Joseph and his brothers had all sorts of angst, but Dad was still neutral turf for all of them, at least in theory. Now we know the truth was Dad wasn't so neutral because Dad played favorites. But the role of family life and siblings and getting along and recognizing their connections, and the role of parents is a paramount piece of this week's Torah portion. I'm now the father of siblings, and I hope mine turn out all right. We're working hard to make sure that they do, but I don't know. They may rise up one day and say, Dad, you treated this one more favorably than that one. You did this better than that one. Inevitably, they'll find all sorts of flaws that are probably correct. But I do know this. I want them to be able to look at each other and say, it's me, your brother, it's me, your sister, and embrace in love and in smiles the way they finally embraced in the Torah portion this week. And that's what we want with our siblings. We want people who will be our partners throughout life. They were there for us throughout the longest part of our time of life, longer than our partners, longer than our parents. The siblings in our world are the ones who know us at the beginning, and with a little luck will know us all the way through to the end. And so this week, as we read these words of Torah, I hope we'll think about our own siblings and our own relationships with them. How do we treat them? When we have a chance to be good to them, do we take that opportunity? When we have a chance to torment them and not be nice to them, do we take that opportunity too? Do we allow ourselves to pull back and recognize that the bonds we share are important bonds, bonds that need to be nurtured and cared for? And do we share our parents? Do we not allow our parents to become the area of one child over another? These are tough questions, but our Torah portion never proclaimed to be easy, and our Torah has never proclaimed to be anything other than a guide for living better. This week in the story of siblings, we learn just that, examples on how to live better, more full, more contented lives with stronger relationships. I hope you'll join us for services at the temple this week. Friday evening, our services will be at 7:30 p.m. It's the first Friday, so it's a late service. And we'll be celebrating the adult bat mitzvah of Kirsten Parsons, who's taken part in our adult b'nai mitzvah class. She'll be leading parts of the service and reading from Torah Friday evening. Saturday morning, we have our text class at 9, Torah study at 10, and services at 11. Next Tuesday, we have the next in our film series, a wonderful film called My Mexican Shiva. Promises to be a great evening. I hope you'll join us. For now, I wish you a weekend and a Shabbat of reconnecting with siblings and honoring the joy that siblings can create together. Shabbat Shalom. Look forward to seeing you at the temple.